In 1649 England, how often did you see a group of nudists running around, swearing, drinking, and having sex? The Ranters were an extremely radical sect of people during the English Civil War that were active from 1649 to 1660. The group was united under the common belief in pantheism. They were very anti-government, and you'll see that affected the group dramatically later on. They differ from other groups in their radical views and crazy practices. The main chapel of the Ranters Hexham Abbey, which is the prosperous market in the town Hexham, England. Hexham is located in northern England. This map was drawn in the year 1649, the year the Ranters were formed. Their presence in the Civil War was on the smaller side because of their small numbers and location. They were more of a fringe group than any other group, like the Royalist and the New Model Army, who had loud voices in the war. Though the Ranters caused many problems, their most extreme view was about the afterlife. The Ranters were one of the only groups at the time to express that they didn't believe in heaven or hell. This was a very rare idea because in 1649 England was a heavily Christian area. They didn't believe in sin. They did, however, believe in salvation, which could be achieved through sex and alcohol, which explains some of their wild behaviors. Just about everyone in 17th century England was horrified by the Ranters and their practices. Not a single Christian soul could even fathom the idea of their practices. Everyone believed them to be going to hell, so they all refused to associate themselves with the Ranters. Whether you were Anglican, Presbyterian, or Catholic, Roundheads, or Royalists, the Ranters had no allies, and found themselves completely alone and against the world. The Ranters were pantheists. Pantheism is the belief that in the universe is equal to divinity. This basically means that they thought everything and anything was God. Along with that, they came in a sense of entitlement, which explains the nude preaching and constant obnoxiousness. Despite this, they were self-proclaimed Christians. They claimed that they could be a branch of Christianity if they believed in Christ. This absolutely horrified the Anglicans and Puritans because they couldn't stand the idea of being associated with this mental group. There was one self-proclaimed leader of the Ranters. He went by the name of Lawrence Clarkson. Many historians believed him to be the founder of the group and gave them the idea for pantheism. The English Civil War, written by Tristram Hunt, had a passage written by Clarkson. It read, "After this I traveled to the Church of the Presbyterians, for the heroine consistent of the difference of the Presbyterian in Episcopal, only in few superstitious rites and ceremonies, but I must return to the time then, in which I did endeavor to become one of those that God saw no sin." Lawrence is explaining that why he believes in pantheism to following. He would soon leave the Ranters for a different religion, and the group would begin to fall apart. As you can imagine, Parliament was not down for the beliefs of the Ranters. Parliament was heavily Presbyterian, so they used their power to their advantage to hush the religious beliefs of the group. As a way to rid of the Ranters, Parliament sanctioned an act against several aesthetical, blasphemous, and execrable opinions, derogatory to the honor of God and destructive to the humane society. The English Civil War, Tristram Hunt, included a statement that Parliament read by act. God may be truly glorified and all may be well-doing, but those who lately discover themselves be monstrous in all their opinions, loose, wicked, and abominable practices. Put simply, this act allowed Parliament to imprison anyone who didn't believe in the afterlife. This was the downfall of the group, because the majority of them, the Ranters, ended up in prison. This concludes the video about the Ranters and their history and involvement in the English Civil War. Thank you very much for watching.